Okay, welcome to the big show, everybody. How you doing? Welcome to Monday, May the 6th, 2024. Welcome all to the fifth month of the year. Oh, can you believe it? Great to have you here from wherever you are in the world. Thank you for hitting the thumbs up button if you can find it. And let me know where you're watching me from. What's your temperature going to be like now? Are you guys getting kind of spring temperatures? Is it warming up where you are? I know winter's got to be over for almost all of you by now. I would even think in Canada it would be getting better. I was talking to a friend of mine today from Calgary, and it sounded better there too. I'm going back to Calgary with Jennifer in 3 weeks from now, so we already know that 50s and 60s and even 70s this weekend are happening up there. Keep it coming, I say, because I really don't want to go back to 40-degree temperature after being here in the 80s and the 90s. We're going to hit 105 next Wednesday right here in Palm Desert. So it's getting time to leave. Getting a little warm around here. It's going to have to be time to get going. Thank you all for joining me tonight from wherever you are. A big announcement for some of you, not for others, won't make a difference. First of all, I'm going to go live on this show, the big show, starting next Monday at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. That'll be the new time for this show, 7 o'clock Eastern instead of 8 o'clock Eastern. So mark that. If you want to join me here next week at 8 o'clock, we might already be done by that time. You'll be watching the rerun. So you'll want to join me live on the big show here, 7 o'clock starting next week, which means I am no longer going to do the sponsor member hangout show because I'm going to cancel the sponsor member members of this channel. I'm going to no longer have a sponsor member division or thing on this channel. And the reason is simple. I'm just not offering enough content for that $10 a month contribution. I thank all of you who have over the years been sponsor members. Some have come, some have gone, some come back. But I just am not delivering enough content to really justify having sponsor members of this channel. So we're going to just do the show here every Monday night, 7 o'clock. What you will be looking forward to, what you can look forward to is I will be doing more content here, but it's dependent on Jennifer's ability for her movement. And right now, her hips are fine. She has two brand new hips that we've installed here in Palm Desert. But it's her knee right now. The knee is troublesome because it has been compensating for her hip problems for years and years and years. We're returning to Calgary by the end of this month, and she will be going to see her doctor shortly after that. And she usually will get her knee, an injection in her knee, and that usually does the trick. Once she gets a new injection, she's pain free for months and months and months. Now, if that works out, which we think it will, we're crossing our fingers. If that works out, she will be 6 months pain free. And we are plotting right now a summer holiday that will start around August and will include the possibility of 3 cruises. We're plotting to possibly be on 3 different cruises, August, September, October. We'll keep you posted on that when we know for sure. I can't even begin to book anything without the confirmation that the injection is working. And that'll be probably the first 10 days of June when we get this done. If her knee is fine and she's pain free, we are on for a bit of a travel routine. I will then bring to your attention our travel schedule for August, September, October. And we might run into some of you folks either in Europe itself or on cruise ships. A Scottish Isle cruise, a Mediterranean cruise, and we might even add a New England cruise out of New York or Boston. We'll let you know when we know that. Beyond that, our next travel trip, hopefully, cross our fingers, will begin in December when we work our way to Australia for December, January, February, and New Zealand for March, February, March kind of timing. And then we'll be back here in Southern California, we hope in March or April and May of next year. Stay tuned for all of that. So content will come out to this channel from us on the road as we get on the road, but it'll come out via this show, which is going to start next week, 7 Eastern, and or special videos that we will just produce and put out there. So stand by for that. So this channel is going to, I hope, be much more active going forward. It's all up to Jennifer's ability to travel pain-free, and we are very hopeful. Now, we have talked about the idea that what if we don't have Jennifer pain-free? What if the injection in the knee is only good for a couple of months and then we are back in pain again? Then likely what will happen is we may or may not do the summer trip. It depends on just how it works. Pain-wise, if there's no pain for several months, we'll do the trip. But if during the trip it acts up, we're going to have to not do the Australia part. No Australia, no New Zealand. This year, we would then come here back to the Valley December of this year coming up, and we will book Jennifer in for a knee replacement surgery here in the Valley for next winter, and she'll do her physio here for that. And we just have to do what we have to do to get Jen up and going pain-free again. But we are way down the road now, positively way down the road. Her hips are doing great. She goes about without any problems whatsoever. She doesn't need any walkers or canes or anything like that. When we go to Costco now, what the best thing about going to Costco now is that she doesn't go into the area where the front doors are looking for an electronic scooter. She goes in, grabs a cart, starts pushing her shopping cart like everybody else. This is a big deal. I mean, we had for 2 years now, we had to find an electronic buggy for her to use in Costco or in Target or Walmart, wherever we've gone. If we're going to these big, huge stores, she couldn't walk the store. Well, now she can walk the store. So it's been wonderful so far, the progress that Jen has had. We just want to now get to the next level and make sure that on the knee side, she's going to be pain-free. So stand by for the latest updates on that. Thank you all for joining me tonight. It's great to have you here. Thank you for letting me know where you're watching from here. Like I said, next week with this show will begin at 7 o'clock Eastern, and every Monday from now on is the deal. Robert says, cool. Ken, correct. Hi, Bruce and all from Saginaw. It's a clear 62 degree day here in Michigan. Regular gas at $3.64 a gallon. Good evening, Janet and Ken. Number 2, thumbs up. Ms. M, hello from outside Vancouver. Number 4, thumbs up. Sharon is here. Number 6 tonight. Welcome, Sharon, to the show. Shady Hill Homestead, hello from Indiana. 76 Fahrenheit. Number 5 on the thumbs up. Michael Cannon, good evening, Bruce. Stephen Butler, number 7, going to Ireland real soon. Donnell in the house. Hi, Bruce and all TWB fans. I'm number 7 tonight. Stephen Butler, Donnell, we must have hit the bottom at the same time, the same button. I thought I was number 7. One of us is 7, one of us is 8, I guess. Mike Hood is here. Hello from Tennessee. Hello there, Michael. That's a real possibility, Stephen. It could have happened. Mike, number 12 tonight, Bruce. Thank you. Kirk Brunson's YouTube and Facebook channel. Hi, Bruce and TW family. Kirk from New York City is here. And 13 thumbs up tonight. Sharon, the Bionic. Jen, Donnell, where are you heading to in Ireland? Stephen, Tom Henry. Hello, TW friends. And Tim Bowman here. Hello from the Majestic Princess, somewhere in the Pacific, about 2 days from our next port in Vancouver, British Columbia, BC. It's been a wonderful 26 days so far. It's about 56 Fahrenheit, and the weather has been cloudy. Welcome, Tim, from aboard the Majestic. Debbie Emanuel is here. Exactly what I was thinking, Sharon. Thank you. And Larry Blake, number 17. Thank you, Larry, for the thumbs ups that you're providing us, all of you out there. It's much appreciated. As far as cruise news goes and what's going on, I found out an interesting story that I wanted to bring to your attention and comment on. I guess there was a cruise, a Carnival cruise. It could have been one of those cruises from LA down to Mexico and back. And the ship was going to go into Ensenada, Mexico. Now, for those of you who are not aware of this, if you leave Los Angeles and you go to, say, let's say you do a 4-day cruise out of LA and you just go to a couple of islands off the coast of the United States, you have to go to Ensenada, Mexico, and pull into the port for at least 4 or 6 hours. And then you can leave Ensenada and come back to Los Angeles, because you didn't do a USA to USA cruise. You did a USA to a foreign country back to America kind of cruise, and that's allowed. Um, Ensenada is a stop where some passengers get off and will do a cruise ship tour of some kind, and then be brought back to the ship, and off they go. Other people will get off the ship in Ensenada, and they'll go into town and they'll wander the main drag and hang out for a while. And the story goes that the captain of this Carnival ship penned a memo, had a letter drawn up for all passengers that was delivered under their doors the night before they got to Ensenada. And it talked about the fact that there are more and more and more instances where cruise ship passengers who are not part of a group and are not sheltered by organized, hired people on the cruise line, if you are on your own and you come off a cruise ship in various ports in Mexico, it is becoming more and more common. More and more of these promoters are showing up, unlicensed, not ship approved, not in any way connected to the cruise line. Promoters are coming up and approaching passengers and attempting to convince them to come to an attraction that they've got going on. Now, maybe they're handing out flyers. I don't know. Maybe they have a bus across the street that will take them to a place. But apparently, one of the one of the attractions being offered, and I use that word in quotations loosely, is some kind of a petting zoo being offered where you can touch and pet baby lion cubs. Has been making the rounds. Photos have been posted on Facebook sites and other pages of cruise passengers cuddling little lion cubs, as an example. Now, some of these um, some of these postings are rather negative, saying that it's a complete ripoff. The cubs have been sedated before the people get there, and they're zombies. They're just, they're out of it, because if they weren't sedated, they would be dangerous to touch by the human hand. So the captain is just trying to say to passengers, look, if you're going to do this, if you're going to, you're going to be whisked away by a private tour operator about some kind of attraction, you're on your own. Anything goes wrong, we cannot help you in any way. We're not liable as a cruise line. The port isn't liable. The city of Ensenada is not liable. These are not licensed Ensenada tour operators. You're completely on your own. We do not know how legitimate they are, illegitimate. Are we talking about you being taken to a poor part of town and being robbed at gunpoint? We do not know and cannot guarantee your safety. A very smart thing to do by the captain, because apparently this is on the rise. The abuse of passengers and the maybe not physical or whatever, but the ripping off of people for what you think you're getting and what you're going to get is absolutely not the same. You're not going to a, um, a supervised facility. You're going to private, for-profit, underground, illegal places where you really may not want to be, especially with the family. And I commend the captain for doing so. Of course, the other thing to remember is if you get caught in a scenario where you go to a, you go to a, non-authorized or non-sponsored, non-ship sponsored tour, the ship isn't waiting for you if you're coming back late. And these tour operators, what incentive do they have to bring you back on time anyway? Unless you're a really good tipper, and maybe they're hitting you up for tip money that you didn't think you had to come up with. I don't know. You're playing with firecrackers that could go off badly, and you just have to really guard yourself. You have to be very cognizant of that. And speaking of that, the second story is kind of an offshoot of this story, and that is that there's headlines making the news lately that two elderly passengers of a Norwegian cruise ship left the ship in Barcelona on a private tour of some kind. And they came back to the facility, back to the port, late. And they knew they would be late as they were getting back to the port. Their transportation had a tire problem. They got stuck in bad traffic, and they even tried to contact the cruise line that they were coming back, we're on our way. But the cruise line was under strict orders from the port authority to leave the dock on time because they were scheduled to leave the port at a selected point in time with other ships waiting their turn to go out behind them because they had to be escorted with a pilot boat, and so on. And so these two elderly passengers missed their departure from Barcelona, big city. Good news if you need a hotel, you're stranded in Barcelona as a place to stay. Bad news, you're in Barcelona. You might have your passport on you, but maybe your credit card, but you don't have your medication with you. You don't have your toothbrush and all your clothing. Everything's on the ship, and the ship is gone. Now, in this particular case, the ship went to its next port of call the next morning, which was Palma de Mallorca. Not too far away, but apparently the grandparents called back to the U.S. to family members for assistance in booking a flight to catch the ship. They were trying to find a way to catch up to their ship, and they were scrambling to get two seats on a plane, some regional, I don't know what. I don't know what airline they flew out of. Airport. I don't know what airport they flew out of. Was it Barcelona? Was it an airport they had to take a train to or a cab to? No idea. You're on your own. And this again is one of these stories that, for some reason, the media loves to pick up on. They love to pick up on stranded passengers, like as if it's the cruise line's fault that these passengers are not there. It's not the cruise line's fault if you're going on an excursion that has nothing to do with the cruise line. You're taking your life in your hands on many levels. And you've got to decide for yourself whether you want to take that chance or not. Is there something wrong with leaving a cruise ship and walking around a downtown area of Barcelona or through some of the park areas, or grabbing a cab or an Uber to go sightseeing, but very close to the ship so that you're within hours, within minutes of getting back rather than hours? There's nothing wrong with that, of course. But if you're going to take an extended trip that's 20, 30 miles from the port, and you're now, totally vulnerable to a highway closure, an accident on the highway, you're stuck in traffic, in gridlock, you're done for. It might be that you're lucky and you're right behind a bus that is a Norwegian bus that's going to the port, that is a sponsored tour, and the ship will wait for that bus. You'll outrun it in the last mile to get there ahead of it. But boy, you're taking an awful gamble. And when you are off the ship without any of your provisions, especially medications, where you have a set time to take your next medication for whatever ails you. The older you are, chances are you need something. You're really taking your life in your hands. You're taking unnecessary risks. Barcelona. Well, how many people are we talking about? 5 million in the greater metropolitan area of Barcelona. We're talking some serious size cities here. And if you are going out of town, you are asking for it. You're just asking for it. I'm just saying. Again, I'm amazed at how many media outlets pick up on these stories and try to sensationalize them like something really terrible is happening, and how dare these cruise lines leave these people stranded behind. I find that really unfortunate that this is going on, because it makes for great press. I guess it gets eyeballs reading a blog or a vlog, I suppose, watching a YouTuber's video. But man, it's a disservice to the actual people who are thinking of going on a cruise. This is a disservice to them that they think that the cruise line will wait for them because they're late. It's just not going to happen. And I don't know why these folks don't. I guess I'll put it to you this way: it's not like there's 100 passengers every cruise, abandoned all over the world every day of the week. No, we hear about these once in a while, and so 99.999% of cruisers know not to do this. 99.9% of cruisers who do go on excursions without cruise ship involvement make it back on time, or those who walk around the shore a little bit, they make it back on time. Great. But there's always someone somewhere who. And the worst of it is if you have an excursion and there's two people, four, six, whatever, and someone on that excursion falls ill, falls down, and breaks something, twisting an ankle, breaking a leg, dislocating a shoulder, something happens, and now we have a problem where now what do you do? Because you come back to the port with a dislocated shoulder or a broken arm, you're probably not going to be let on that ship. The health officer will take one look at you and will kick you out. They won't bring you on. They're not going to take the chance that you might sue the cruise line for malpractice insurance on a broken arm. Plus, they can't reset your broken arm. They can't do surgery on a cruise ship. You have to go to a hospital. Well, guess what, fellas? You're in a different country. You have no insurance. You might have travel insurance. I hope you do. Hopefully, you're covered. I don't know what the deductible is. How many times have we heard nightmare stories of cruisers in places like Mexico where the husband has a heart attack at the petting zoo and they take him to the hospital, and it's a $20,000 deposit to admit the passenger in, because they don't have any travel insurance. They don't have any medical insurance applicable in Mexico. We're talking absolute nightmares here, where if you are going outside the ship, you are asking for more problems. Obviously, if you have a heart attack on a ship tour, you're still going to a hospital, but the cruise line will work with you as much as possible to accommodate the rest of your family, to arrange the packing of your stuff if you're going to stay behind. I mean, you're on a ship tour of some kind, excursion of some kind. You're going to get some help, but you're vulnerable. Be careful out there, folks. What can I say? Anyway, that's the story, and I'm sticking to that. Thank you all for being here today. Thank you for joining us today from wherever you are. Thank you again for these thumbs ups, everyone. I so appreciate it. Remember, as a reminder, I will make another announcement again. This is the last time that this show will be on at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. Starting next week, the big show right here will be on at 7 o'clock Eastern Time from now on. So if you want to join me live next week, please be here at 7 p.m. Eastern Time next week. Okay, everybody? Thank you all so much. We're changing the channel a little bit. I am discontinuing the sponsor member program here for this channel. We're going to have just regular viewers across the board who don't have to make any kind of contribution to be a member of this channel at all. We're going to cancel the membership program out probably later tonight. I'll get that done. I want to deliver content worthy of a membership, and doing the big show is a pleasure for me to give to you, but for me to do a sponsor member hangout show just for sponsor members, it isn't worth it at this point. We're not traveling. Jen and I are dealing with medical issues for her, and we've got to get her better. And so I'd rather deliver content to you this way, and then when we do start traveling, we will deliver regular content for you of travel content along with this show, and we'll kind of go from there. So thank you all for your support of this channel. It is so much appreciated. Thank you. Stephen Butler is saying to Donnell, we're going to be at the Shannon Airport. We're going to be at Bunratty, Dublin through Kilkenny. We'll see the old family home there. Waterford, Limerick, flying back out of Shanahan Airport. Robert Blend in the house. Hello, Bruce and Jen. Number 15, thumbs up. 72 degrees in Boston today. Headed next month to Hawaii on a cruise on the MSC Seashore to Puerto Rico and the Bahamas. Donnell, enjoy your vacation, Stephen. Hope the weather will be agreeable at least some of the time here. Robert Blend, Bruce, 72 degrees in Boston. How about that? Stephen Butler, I have a couple of brothers into genealogy. They seem to think we were related to the 9th Earl of Ormond, James Butler. Once upon a time, I don't know, but I don't expect an invite to stay, laughing out loud. Sylvia, number 18, thumbs up. Hello, TWB family. Welcome, Sylvia. Kevin Chapman, great to be here, Bruce. The dreary days are now in the high 60s in central New Jersey, which is progress towards summer. Thumbs up, number 21 tonight. Cheers. Thank you, my friend. Tom Henry, hi, Sylvia. Sylvia Swan, Tom Henry, hi there. How are you today? Kevin, we've seen the late arrivals run down the dock waving and shouting, but once they raise the anchor and cast off the lines, they aren't opening the door so you can leap aboard late. Good advice tonight. Tim Bowman, we frequently use independent tour operators, but are very aware of where we are relative to the ship's departure. On the current cruise, we use ship excursions for most of our trips. Sharon, Kevin reminds me to mention something we may have originally learned from you. The cruise compass has the port agent phone number. Bring it with you when you go ashore. Sharon, they may not hold the ship for you, but if you're almost at the port and they are not too pressed for time, they might wait a couple of minutes for you. Ms. M, those elderly cruisers had 30 cruises under their belt. They were upset that NCL didn't contact them, but MCL didn't have their cell number. This is from Tony and Dawn's channels, apparently. Sylvia, oops, battery's low. I got to charge my battery. Hang in there. Yes, just because you're a frequent cruiser isn't going to save you. Cruise lines sometimes have to leave port, whether they're ready to or not. There are times where they must move on. Now, look, I was on an itinerary on a excursion with Jennifer Jr. We had gone to, if I recall, Pisa. This is in Italy, and to Florence. And the excursion was 8 hours, I believe. It was like 8 in the morning until 4 in the afternoon, something like that. And it included lunch in Florence. I think we went to Florence first, then had lunch in Florence, went to Pisa, and then drove from Pisa back to the ship. And we got to the ship at 4:30, 4:40. The ship is leaving at 5. And the bus driver and the tour guide at the front of the ship, they were on the phone to the ship, letting them know where they were. And the ship said, no problem. You're good. We've got extra time if you need it. And for whatever reason, within a mile of the port, we ran into traffic problems. It was quite hectic. A lot of red lights, green lights, traffic, stop and go. But, we chugged along. We got to the ship just before 5 o'clock, and there was no urgency given to us, like, hurry up, none of that kind of stuff. It was, come on over, and thank you for joining us. Have a great cruise. And we got on the ship, and everyone on the in the welcoming area where you had to provide your room key, and, they made sure your photo matched the photo on Computer, no hurry, no pushing the buttons of panic whatsoever. And we left, I think within 20 minutes, we were pretty well on our way. We were the last back, and it wasn't an issue whatsoever. So that showed me firsthand how important it was to use that. Anyway, there you go. It is what it is. You know, what are you going to do? Now, I've got something for you guys. Thanks again for the thumbs ups, everybody. Found some deals here that I wanted to show you today, and I'm taking a little bit of a different approach on what I'm going to show you. I was looking up different cruise deals, and today I thought, what kind of deals can you get? Like, how cheap are deals really? Like, super, super cheap deals. And so I popped up on my screen some offers for some various geographical areas. And I started with inside rooms just to see how low priced could cruises be. Look at this. Look at this. Okay, on the very top line there, you'll see on the very, very far left, that's right over here where my hand is, 7-day cruises. Okay, these are all 7-day cruises. These are all Alaska cruises. And you can see the starting dates when they start. Some of them are, very soon from now. This is the 6th. Some of them start on the 11th, the 10th of May, the 12th of May, and so on. But you'll see next the starting point and the end point. And then in the middle is the name of the ship and the cruise line. And then over on this side, the third column in is the 4.5-star, 5-star cruise line, the so-called brochure price of the cruise, and then the deal for an inside cabin. And I started at the cheapest cruise, $199 for a 7-night cruise, Anchorage to Vancouver on the Norwegian Jewel. Inside cabin. Now, of course, that's per person, so that's $400 for the two of you, 1 week. Is there something wrong with the Norwegian Jewel cruise ship? There's nothing wrong with the Norwegian cruise ship. How about the Seattle to Seattle May 12th departure? If you can make that one, the Norwegian Encore, $237 for a week. Third one, Anchorage to Vancouver, Celebrity Summit, $249. I mean, really? How about Vancouver to Anchorage on the Norwegian Jewel? That's on May 27th. That one is $249. You can see the pricing: $249s, $279s, $296, $297, $299. Look how many cruises are under $300. Even at the bottom there, $327 for a cruise on the Noordam. We're talking Holland America here for the bottom 5 or 6. The Noordam, June 2nd, June 9, June 16. June 23rd, Vancouver, Anchorage, Anchorage, Vancouver. That is 5 stars for $314 for inside rooms. I wanted to let you know that if you're able to get to these ports in the next few weeks, you can catch some real deals on these. And of course, you make the entire ship your balcony. You just use your inside room as a bedroom to sleep in and crash. It's your bathroom, your balcony, and everything else. Enjoy the views. Interesting, isn't it? Then I found a cruise that is not Alaska. I saw these cruises here. These are New England cruises. So I found at the very top here, 7-day cruise, May 12th, New York to New York on the MSC Meraviglia. 4.5-star, $199 for an inside room. Of course, it's May 12th, so if you're in that area, you can take advantage of it. How about May 18th? Montreal to Boston, 7 days. Holland America, Volendam, $331. Or how about June the 4th? New York to New York return, 10-day cruise. Island Princess, $359 for an inside room. $36 a night for your base rate. This is pretty cheap. The next one, June 25 departure, $359. My goodness. And then we got a couple here from Boston to Montreal on the Volendam, May 25, May 11. There they are, $379, $399. And on the very bottom, I've got one highlighted there, the Emerald Princess. It's a 14-nighter for $545. And let me show you what we're dealing with on that one. There's the ship right there. The Emerald Princess leaves June 19 And you can see the map right here where it's leaving from. We're talking about a departure from Fort Lauderdale in Florida, heading north. And here's the actual itinerary. Wednesday, June 19th, Fort Lauderdale, sea day, Charleston, South Carolina, sea day to Norfolk, another sea day to New York, a sea day to Boston, a sea day to Sydney, Nova Scotia, Canada, a day at sea, and you're in Saguenay, Quebec, and 2 nights in Quebec City. So there's that map again. As you can tell, going north here from Fort Lauderdale up to, you see my head there. Hi, here I am. Heading north, Charleston, all the way to New York, Newport, Boston, Sydney, Saguenay, and Quebec City. How about the pricing? The 545 is the inside room. 739 is an ocean view. 1,078 for a balcony. Sounds like a lot of money, but that's a 2-week cruise, folks. That's $539 for a balcony per week. Brochure suite, though, big money, $55.97. This ship was built in 2007, refurbished in 2019, 113,500 tons, 951 feet long, 118 feet wide, passenger capacity 3,080 people, 1,200 crew. Tipping is additional 17, 18, roughly 18% tip for drinks. A couple of images here of the ship. Here's a top image here, a little shot there for you, and a little shot at the back there. Quebec City, gorgeous. You're going to be right in front of this hotel. I think that's known as the Chateau Frontenac, if I'm not mistaken. It looks like a castle. Here's a night shot of this area. Just beautiful. Quebec City, man, oh man, what a great cruise you would have if you could catch that one. Now, I found after that, I found another trip that caught my fancy. This is over in Europe. This is a ship. This is a trip that starts in Southampton, goes to Paris, then to Oporto in Portugal, I believe, Lisbon, Portugal, and then Seville, Cadiz, Gibraltar, Granada, Ibiza, Palma, and Barcelona in Spain. We're talking about going on this ship right here. This is the NCL Getaway. It's a 10-night cruise from Southampton. June 6th departure. We're talking about $636 for an inside room, $1,000 for an ocean view, $1,060 for a balcony. There's your deal right there. And then suite, even a good deal here at $1,232 a night. Not too bad. Here's the itinerary: Southampton, Paris at sea, and there are your stops in Portugal, Gibraltar, Cadiz, Malaga, Ibiza, Palma de Mallorca, and Barcelona. This ship, built in 2014, refurbished in 2020, 145,655 tons, 1,068 feet long, 170 feet wide, 3,900 passenger capacity with 1,646 crew. Tipping 20 to 25 a night, a day per person, with a 20% tip added for everything else. Here's an overhead shot here of all kinds of water park activity if you've got kids. And here you go here, basketball court up at the front there. All kinds of fun stuff to do on this ship. And a pretty neat little itinerary. Here, of course, is the spa. This would be where I'm going to hang out. I'll tell you that right now. This is my neighborhood. I believe this might be at the back of the ship, right at the back corner. Pretty nice spa area. And then I found some cruises that might interest you out of Northern Europe, and I thought I would show these off. You might notice here that the prices. Hang on, let me get rid of the logo. They start at $379. 382. These are inside rooms. Southampton to Copenhagen, Southampton to Reykjavik on the Norwegian Getaway, Norwegian Star. Then we go into some Holland America cruises, Celebrity, working at 10, 12-day, 14-day cruises at different prices. And I found a cruise that would be that might be applicable. Actually, I found 2 of them, to be honest. I took a look at 2 cruises, and let me just see if I can find them. Here we go. I highlighted these 2 Norwegian Star cruises. The first one, Southampton to Reykjavik, and then back to back, Reykjavik to Tromsø, Norway. And inside rooms, $382 and $450 for a 12 and 11-day cruise, back to back. And I thought this might be an interesting voyage to go on. This is the Norwegian Star cruise ship we're talking about here. The first first voyage is inside room only, 382, leaving May 18th. If you're in that area or you can get there, here you go. Southampton up to Edinburgh, then to Ivor Gordon and Lerwick, Shetland Islands, over to Bergen, Aalsland, and then Shetland Islands. Pardon me. Then to Iceland and a couple of stops there, ending in Reykjavik with a 2-night stay there. Then you would go, and again, here's that itinerary right here, is Southampton, Edinburgh. You see what I mean? A couple sea days, like 3 sea days. This particular ship built in 2021 redo, 91,000 tons, 965 feet long, 125 feet wide. I am sure Tom Henry has been on this ship. 2,348 passengers, 1,000 crew. If Tom hasn't been on this ship, he's been on a ship like this one. The tipping is 20 to 25 a night, depending on what room you're in. Here's another shot of the ship from the back end, which I believe is where Tom Henry likes to hang out, on these ships at the back. And here's another shot of the lobby area. Kind of nice ships. The second cruise on the back-to-back leaves Reykjavik with a couple of stops in Iceland, and then all the way up to the northern part of Norway, way over at night here, overnight on board in Longyearbyen. And then you come into the northern area of Norway, ending in Tromsø, Norway. Here are the itineraries again, these stops, 3-4 stops in Iceland. Then we have the 2-night stay in Norway, the Longyearbyen, and then 2 nights in Honningsvåg, Norway, 2 nights in Alta, Norway, and 2 nights in Tromsø. You're going to get a lot of culture out of this, because you're going to have a lot of time to spend on shore in these unique spots. June 8th, these are the longest days of the year, too. We're talking sunset at 11 o'clock, maybe midnight. Totally different experience than what you're used to. That will be a heck of a cruise if you can do that one. Cost $450 inside room, 11 nights. That's a good deal. So one of these is $382 for 12 nights, $450 right off the get-go, back to back for the next 11 nights, 23 nights for under $1,000, under $900 actually. And that could be quite the itinerary when you think about it. Of course, you got to get there and you got to get home from there. But if you can get there, if you're already there, what a cruise to be on. If you're taking the second cruise, you stay a little longer and then work your way back to Bergen, and eventually, however you're coming home, or spending more time in Europe. I mean, it's June, for crying out loud. Nice. Very interesting. There's a number of, like I say, a number of cruises to consider. These Northern European cruises, different dates, all the way up to June 21 here, June 29. Dates available, 11 nights on Neustadt Dam, fourth from the bottom there. $799 for 11 nights on June 29, longest days of the year here. 9 days Dover to Dover on the Carnival Legend, and on the 16th of June, another one. A number of thoughts there, a number of opportunities to go on cruises there. And of course, back here on these cruises, the New York to New York cruise for $199 for a week, Montreal to Boston for $331. June 25th, 10 nights, New York to New York on the Island Princess for $359. Nice opportunities there for some cruises, absolutely. And of course, Alaska for under $327, under $320, under $330. How many do you want on inside rooms? Tons of opportunities here on some ships, trips that go right to June even. So you've got time to catch these very interesting last-minute cruises. I thought I'd show you those today and give you a thought, give you something to think about. You never know. And Bruce, don't tempt me with these cheap Alaska cruises. Those rates are indicative of excess capacity. Indicative, yes. Stephen Butler, Donnell, thanks. We're looking forward to it. Weather is no problem. It may rain every day or not at all. We were told to be ready for any of the four seasons, sometimes on the same day. Tom Henry, yep, 3 times on the Star, Bruce. 2 transatlantics and a South American cruise. I've been on that ship. And Shoni, thanks, Bruce. These are some great deals, and they are. You can find these on your own. You can find them with a travel agent. You can tell a travel agent, look, I only want to go balcony. Don't even show me an inside room. I'm not interested. I'm only talking balcony. What are the best deals? Where do I have to go to get the best deal on a balcony cruise in the next month or two? What can you find for me? You might be surprised that you can find a cruise in 6 weeks from now for under $100 a night, $70 a night for a balcony. You might be able to find some decent airfare there as well, because you're not traveling in July, August. You're traveling in May or June. It's still shoulder season. The cheapest airfares of the year, the cheapest hotels of the year, the cheapest cruises of the year in some areas. Might be worth your while. Donnell, good travel ideas, Bruce. I think I'll go on all of them, if only. Right on, Donnell. We'll compare notes when we see you, I hope, this year, my friend. We sure hope to catch up with you, Jen and I, in Cork, Ireland. We owe you that. Can't wait to see you. Again, folks, one last time, I want to mention to all of you, this show, the big show here, will start next week at 7 o'clock Eastern Time going forward. Every week, starting next week, we're 1 hour earlier for this show, 7 o'clock Eastern. Please join us then if you can. Thank you if you've been able to give us a thumbs up today. It is so appreciated by Jen and I. If you're able to give us a thumbs up for this show, help give us a little momentum on YouTube. We have 29 thumbs ups in the house, and the rerunners of this channel, they come through with all kinds of thumbs ups. Thank you, all of you who are doing that for us. The rerunners, very much appreciated. For those of you who are sponsor members of this channel, we are closing down the sponsor member section of this channel. Thank you, all of you who have at one time been a sponsor member. We started that in 2018, if I recall, is when I started offering sponsor memberships of this channel. Thanks to all of you who've done this for us. You've been just terrific. We don't have very many sponsor members these days because we don't do much content. And so I would rather give you content that has value. And we're looking forward to getting on the road this summer again. We will bring you more content going forward. Thank you all for, again, every week, your loyalty to this channel. It is appreciated. We'll see you next Monday, 7 o'clock Eastern Time. Don't miss it. And thank you all about that. Robert, another great show. Do you think about the Viking Cruise Line? A friend is trying to get me to purchase their newly issued stock. They went public last week at 24 a share. They started trading at 26. They issued 50 odd million shares, and they're traveling. The stock symbol is VIK. VIK is or Vike, I guess. VIK is a symbol. And trading on, I think, the New York Stock Exchange. You can check out the code anytime you like. Tim Bowman at All America has a standby fare program, which is very low fares. Sharon, have a great week. Bruce, love to Jen. Thank you. Sharon, JJ, thank you, my friend. Robert, see you tomorrow morning. You got it, buddy. Rocky, see you next week. You got it, pal. Donnell, got you, Bruce. See you all at 7 p.m. Eastern Time from next week. Have a great week, everybody. Thank you, Donnell. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Have a lovely week all. Catch you next Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And we'll send out the alerts as usual. Thank you again. Goodbye for now from Palm Desert, California. Stephen Butler, thanks, buddy. We'll see you next week. Bye for now.